Okay, we're live again. We're now at our final character for this beginner's guide, being Sid. Of course, I swapped out Kite's Teeth earlier for him, so we're going to be covering him as our last beginner's guide. This guide will cover mostly Sid's stats and limit breaks, as we've done with all characters, as well as go over discussion about the character in general. So Sid might not be my favorite go-to character in this game, but when it comes to growing and building up your Montiero, he's definitely the best character because a lot like Cloud, he also has access to triple growth weapon, the Scimitar, but it only has two slots. But his double growth weapons, being Viper Halberd and the Javelin, give him more slots than most of the party members. Most party members usually get for their first one being a three-slotted double growth weapon, and their other double growth weapons so only give you four slots. Sid's different because Viper Halberd gives him four slots to work with, whereas Javelin gives him five. He also gets pretty much an early access to Dragoon Lance, which gives him like a normal growth eight slot weapon, which is very good if you want to combine that with Wizard Bracelet to give him the benefit of growing up to 16 Montieros for normal growth. So in other words, Sid is actually one of your better Montiero farmers. In regards to stats, Sid ranks 4th on HP with 9,031 HP. He ranks 7th on MP, having 795. He ranks 4th on Strength, having a Strength stat of 90. His Dexterity is at 61, which is ranked 5th against all of the current party members. Vitality is ranked 94, which is 3rd. Third highest. Magic is ranked 6th at 127. Spirit is ranked 7th at 89. And like Barrett, he's ranked dead last at 7th with 27 for luck. So basically, Sid is basically your very similar to Barrett, just not very high on certain stats. And he actually, as opposed to Barrett, he does have access to multi-targeting limit breaks, which means just about all the limit breaks he has, which is Dynamite, Hyper Jump, Dragon Dive, and Big Brawl and High Wind, allow him to basically attack just about every enemy that you fight on screen. So basically, Sid's actually one of your best enemy damage dealers when it comes to fighting mobile enemies. Though he does have some single targeting attacks too. So let me get to my notes for Sid's limit breaks. So the first one we're going to cover is Boost Jump. This is his default limit break. So if you hadn't realized, Sid pretty much acts as your Dragoon for this game, despite this being more of a modern setting, pretty much. So Boost Jump is his default limit break. This deals 3 and 1/4 times normal damage to one enemy. It's actually a pretty strong one, and you should probably use this until you get access to Dynamite, which is the next one. Dynamite is acquired after you use Boost Jump 7 times. This deals 2 and 1/4 times normal damage to all enemies. You should definitely use this against fighting mobile foes at all times. Hang on one second, I'm trying to get my page open. Alright, so the level 2 limit breaks are Hyper Jump. You'll get access to this after defeating 60 enemies. This allows Sid to basically deal 3 and 1/2 times normal damage to all enemies, and has a 20% chance of inflicting death. Of course, this attempt will fail if the enemy is immune to death, but still, you'll still get your 3 and 1/2 times normal damage on the enemies you're targeting still. Dragon can be acquired after using Hyper Jump up to 6 times, and this allows Sid to deal 1 and 1/4 times normal damage to one enemy, and just like Red 13's Straight Bloodfang, this allows Sid to recover HP and MP restored equal to 25% of HP and MP healed. And this is also capped at enemy's current HP. So if the enemy is the amount you get is also dependent on your enemy's HP being at their current HP. Yeah, at their cap. So keep that in mind when you're using Dragon. Sorry about that. Alright, level 3 Dragon Dive is our next one. You'll get this after defeating 76 enemies. This allows Sid to attack 6 random enemies. This will deal 1 and 7/16 times normal damage, and has a 28% chance of inflicting death to any of those enemies, but it will fail against any enemy that's immune to death. This is actually probably his strongest jump attack that he gets access to. And this is probably his next best one outside of High Wind. Probably being his better damage dealing. Big Brawl is another multi-targeting attack on all enemies. This allows Sid to attack all enemies up to 8 times randomly, and this deals 1 and 1/8 times normal damage. Pretty good for fighting mobile enemies in general. And Sid's final limit break is High Wind. You'll get this when you go to the Sunken Galenka. After you get access to the sub, you do need to be careful when going near there, because sometimes the overall weapon will park himself right in front of it, especially when you're trying to leave. So be sure not to move when you get out of there. But anyway, once you get access to the hangar after defeating Reno and Rude, you'll get access to the High Wind. This allows Sid to attack 18 times on all enemies randomly, and this deals 11 and 16 times normal damage. This is actually one of the strongest level 4 limit breaks in the entire game, and this outdoes Cloud's Omni Slash and Barrett's Catastrophe for having the best high amount of damage. This is almost guaranteed to hit. If you can max out Sid's strength, this is guaranteed to deal 9,999 damage to one target, pretty much up to 18 times. The only thing I could probably match up to that is Barrett's Anger Max, which also has the same priorities, but only deals half damage. But anyway, this pretty much concludes the guide for Sid. Basically, Sid is going to be one of your best Matiera farmers to help grow your Matiera once you get him and get your double growth and triple growth weapons. And even if you do decide to give him normal growth weapons like Dragoon Lance and Wizard's Bracelet, he's going to be one of your best Matiera farmers. So by the time you start growing Matiera, you should definitely include Sid in your party. Of course, if you are going to grow some of the more harder to grow summon Matieros, he's definitely best assigned with Scimitar. But for most cases, giving him the Javelin is probably the better one. But other than that concludes my guides for Sid. And for all Final Fantasy VII characters, this was a very long project to do. But I hope these beginner guides will help players know what to expect, what they're getting into with their other characters. I really wish it would have been possible to level 90, get Aerith to level 99, but if she was, if we were to take her levels to level 99 into account, she would probably outdo some of the characters in terms of magic and certain stats. But other than that, hopefully these guides will help you enjoy the original Final Fantasy VII. Of course, don't forget we do have a sub goal for Final Fantasy VII Remake, that if we get 10 subs for this channel, we are going to purchase Final Fantasy VII Remake and start playing that on stream. Yeah, so I'm not going to touch Rebirth or any of that until we get this goal met. So be sure to sub to the channel, and I will catch you all later for Peacekeeper speedruns around 3 p.m. Eastern Time today. You all have a great day. Take care. I'm RotorStorm331 signing off. Have a great day. Take care, and I will see you all next time.